we seen all of them come up, and I mean, I'd be remiss to even say this: the tour is one of the greatest mixtapes of the past decade. You know what I mean? Like, and that part pisses me off the most. And I said this on Twitter: you cannot stream this album legally right now, and I don't know what it would take to get this project put out there. I don't even know who owns it. I don't even know where you would even start with this whole project because, and I don't even want to think about it because it blurs the mind because there are so many hands in the pockets of everybody at that point. But like the fact that a lot of people will never get to hear some of Rich Homie's best work ever is really heartbreaking to me. Like that's the most heartbreaking part to me is that this mixtape is trapped on live mixtapes. And of all the mixtapes we've ever had, we'll talk about a couple of that we want to see come out again. That's the one that I feel like everyone needs to hear right now, and you really can't.
And I think the most important thing in the past 2 weeks is having that representation on DSPs. I know the real comfortable thing for people to do is be like, well, all I got to do is hop on SoundCloud and just download the playlist. But as you see from days before rodeo, we can exclude the sales at least, but look at the ability that people have had to now not only tap into an album that they might not have heard for a long time. Some people have heard it for the first time. Some people are hearing brand new records. They're able to playlist it. Now it's on Instagram. So now you could use it for Instagram. You could use it for any other socials. If Travis drops instrumentals, you could use those. Although it's really easy for people to say, well, I've had it uploaded to Apple Music for years. I'm good. I don't have to have the tour. It's so important to be able to be represented on Billboard like this for a specific mixtape, but also the amount of different things that are now unlocked that you could use the tour for if the tour was available on DSPs. But like Five said, unless you're looking for a secret version called Rich Homie Thuggin' and it's up on Spotify or some way like that, there's no way you can listen to it.
Not like J5 said, like you're saying. I think beyond that, it always annoys me when people are like, oh, I've had this tape on my Apple or iTunes for X amount of years. I think it's beyond just us. I think J5 just touched on it. There's a generation of hip hop fans and listeners whose only way to listen to music that they've experienced has been through streaming.
Yep. Yeah.
Like the tour is a classic project that when you think of 2014, you can't talk about the year in hip hop without talking about that project. Whether it's albums, mixtapes, anything.
Yeah, it's the tour and Monster. You know, exactly. It's the tour, like the month apart. Month fucking part, bro. Like that's where we were living. We can't even get a tour and a Monster.
A tour and a Monster today?
Like we can't even do that today. That's what I'm saying. Like that's the crazy part about this whole thing. And someone said to me on Twitter too, like, well, you could just go to live mixtapes. I'm like, I would, and I think one thing we're missing is that I would like to listen to this in a format in a way where the people that worked on it can get paid finally.
Yeah.
Where Quan's family can get paid for this, because this comes out, it's shooting to the top of his Spotify, whatever, like it's gonna shoot to the top of his most played songs. Freestyle, Milk Marie, you could not listen to Milk Marie on streaming, bro. Like you can't listen to Flavor on streaming, you can't listen to Hey Die on streaming. Like there's so many solo songs on that mixtape that you can't listen to anymore. I think Paul Thompson, he's a music reviewer. He calls them like the outcast, Quan and Thug, the outcast
of that generation. I think so.
I would agree. And we lost a huge pillar of Atlanta rap, and we'll never be able to get that back. And it's just depressing to see so many leaves fall off that tree, so to speak. It just really is sad. So rest in peace to Rich Homie Quan. We're going to be talking about him a lot more this month on the tour, and we're going to do it in a celebratory way because he has some funny fucking lines on the tour, and we're going to get to all of those when we get into Throwblacks this month, because I think by far he is the funniest nigga on that mixtape, and we are going to get to that when we review it or we look back at it this month. So just shout out to everyone and prayers up to his children, his family, everybody that's mourning right now. I'm going to listen to his mixtape in his honor.